Hi everyone, my name is Jordi Vivaldi. I'm an architect and philosopher from Barcelona. With this seminar, which takes place in the coming winter semester here at TTP, I would like to work with you on the notion of hospitality regarding the Anthropocene, but especially in its possible articulation in terms of sound. Can we think of hospitality in relation to beings and fleshes of human and non-human affiliation? What could it mean to be hospitable on a planet overlapping multi-species modes of inhabitation? Can we think of figures of hospitality activating new variations regarding the practice of living together well today? How to conceive hospitality in light of a temperament that is inventive and recreative rather than compassive or prescriptive? As I mentioned, we will cultivate and circulate through these questions under a multidisciplinary approach to sound. But sound as a physical, material, and ephemeral sensibility, sound as a polyphony of voices, sound as distinguishability in synchrony, sound as a contingency in touch or in contact, sound as an invitation to engage with the physicality of things in terms of resonance and reverberation, in terms that avoid exhaustion, in terms circumventing empathy and its wish for epistemic colonization. Sound then as a stratum from which to experiment with new lines of flight regarding hospitality, but also as a framework to imagine and to make, as a setup whose sonic vocation is not to deny the visible or the visual, but to expand how we might see. Thinking of hospitality in a sonic key addresses, of course, the political possibility of attuning us to those human or non-human voices that remain unheard or that sound outside a harmonic unity. But we would also like to bypass the moralizing circularity of harmony and discord. If hospitality brings the private or local life world to a contingent and polyphonic environment of cohabitation, of public reverberation, then perhaps we can avoid the classificatory pendulation between friend and enemy by thinking of sonic hospitality that is animated by comic, cosmic, and cosmetic temperaments. No? So codes of publicness that are active and performative, aware yet ironic, collective and cosmological, never prescriptive or taxonomic, and then perhaps opportune to dramatize on the stage of thought sonic forms of order and decorum articulating hospitable manners of sharing the cosmos. These different manners of sharing the cosmos will be addressed in the seminar through these various figures of hospitality. No? So these figures should not be read that much as hermetic monads, but as interactive devices. No? So figures would be in this sense different vectors or motifs that allows us to unpack, no? Or to disclose new variations or new facets of the very practice of hospitality. Figures that somehow will be thought in light of a set of readings, no? of weekly readings, particularly 6 of them. Vincent Despret, living as a bird, will help us to think of sound as an instrument of homemaking, no? But a homemaking that is mobile, that is in motion, that is always ephemeral and in movement. Rick Dolphin, the philosophy of matter, will be helpful to think of the notion of openness, no? So through a distinction between that what is to be open to something and what is to be open by something, no? So a topic, the one of openness, that is crucial in order to think of hospitality. Henry Lefebvre, towards an architecture of enjoyment, when we affirm that we are looking for different manners to live together well, with Lefebvre we will think, what does it mean, this notion of well, no? So what notions such as pleasure or joy can mean, and how they are connected to the fact of inhabiting our environments. Michel Serres, hominiscence, with him we will think of the notion of house, but of course the notion of house with respect to the Anthropocene, that is the notion of house traversed or inhabiting, let's say, geological, technological, or zoological dimensions. Salome Voegelin, the political possibility of sound. With her, we will be thinking of sound in physical terms. but in order to see how sound can provide us models to think of manners to interlace or to interact in between us, no, in between us, but also in between us and the environment. And finally, Alenka Zupanzik, the odd one in on comedy. With her, we will be thinking these notions of the comic, the cosmic, and the cosmetic as codes of publicness that might help us to go beyond the pendulation or the oscillation between self and other or friend and enemy. No, so categories that are usually so crucial to think of hospitality. In order to elaborate the final output of this seminar, which is an essay, a text, we will be working in several exercises during the week by week. And for example, they will be the production of a glossary in order to approach each one of these different figures of hospitality, the connection in between different quotations coming from different texts, the introduction in your argument of the image, no, of different images, the introduction of external bibliography that comes from your own personal research in the argument, no, and all these different exercises are all of them oriented towards the elaboration and the writing of this final text, which is the basic output of the seminar, which should have around 10 pages and which will be delivered after Christmas. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm really looking forward to start working with you.